Hello and welcome to another update video about Mana. Yeah, I want to cover Mana again because I talked about it already a few days ago. And obviously I've been covering Mana for a long time now. But while most cryptos are currently following the same wave count, especially in the small scale, I think Mana is something interesting because first of all, I mean, after this very strong impulsive move here, back in November 21, it's all been corrected down, yeah, and it has touched that 88.7% Fibonacci retracement level that I always emphasize, basically the last meaningful Fibonacci retracement level at 66 cents. And it's basically still in that area between the 88.7% Fib level and the 78.6. In fact, let me just draw the Fibs again because for some reason it shows them as inverted. Let's just do that again here to the top, and we start at 0 because it's the first larger wave, so we have to start the wave count at 0 and we go all the way up to the top. And then then you can see here that the 88.7% Fib level is here at 66 cents and the 78.6 at 126, 127. So overall, Mana has recovered quite quickly, especially if I compare it to the Sandbox and Gala. So from my point of view, Mana actually, and it surprises me a little bit because personally I don't really like Decentraland in terms of the metaverse itself and the application, but that's just personal preference and has nothing to do with the chart. That is just the way how I see that metaverse, that I think I don't really see the use case, the major use case, because it just doesn't look good. I don't know. I personally don't like it. I tried it. It's not for me. I like the metaverse, but not necessarily Decentraland. But nevertheless, it is one of the more popular cryptos in terms of metaverse cryptos. And yeah, if I compare this now to the Sandbox and Gala, I mean, look at this reaction that the price showed to that 88.7% Fibonacci retracement level. When it touched it, it moved all the way up 117%. I mean, let's take a look. Let's just take a look at the Sandbox, yeah, and let's see what it did when it came down to that 88.7% Fibonacci level. And bear in mind, Mana is basically up here, yeah, very close to the 78.6% Fibonacci level. The Sandbox did only half of it, like 68% roughly, yeah. And then take a look at Gala to take a look at the true nightmare here that we have. Just joking, but it really looks a bit more painful here because it is actually the worst of these three cryptos in terms of the chart, because it is below the 88.7% Fibonacci retracement level and can't even get back above it. So from that point of view, it looks very weak, and it moved up even more actually, as we can see, 270%. Well, that is interesting. However, why I say it is from the chart picture at the moment the worst is because it has dropped below that 88.7% Fib level, and had it not shown here a strong reaction, I would be even more concerned. Well, okay, so it did. So Gala did actually the strongest reaction, but it dropped below that last Fib level, and that Fib level is so important. And therefore, I prefer Mana in terms of the chart picture. Because first of all, the impulse was nice, the corrective move was nice, a normal ABC correction, right? And it came down into that target area here, and it's shown a strong reaction to that Fib level. That's what we want to see. And it is currently looking like it might make a higher low, and that is a bit too early to say that. I mean, I showed you here in the last video that this could have been a bullish flag. In the end, it didn't work out as a bullish flag. It actually broke out to the downside. Now that is, of course, what we can see, right? These are wedge patterns. They don't always need to break out to the upside, not without reason. They typically break out to the upside maybe 70%. So the 30% have to happen sometime as well. And this broke out to the downside. Now we are seeing a retest as well, but nevertheless we are currently here doing some kind of a higher low compared to what has come up from down here. And you can actually count all of this here already potentially as an impulsive wave up, yeah. So it is a potential impulse, and this here could be an ABC pattern, but then the price would need to do something. So it is interesting what is now going to happen in the next few days. As you know, primarily for Bitcoin, I do expect another move down and actually a lower low. Now Mana, if Mana does a higher low, for example, just touching the 88.7% fib level again and then moves up from here, we could be more confident that the low for Mana is already in. And I say that because this looks, at least more than other cryptos, fairly impulsive. And of course, what we're doing now looks fairly corrective. But this could already be a first wave 1. This could be a first wave 2. But then it now needs to carry on and move higher in a wave 3. And if it makes a new high now and moves above 136, then we can be much more confident that the low might already be in. Now, I think even in that, in this more bullish scenario that the low might already be in for Mana, it still has a potential now to move lower, because if we count this here as a wave 1, all of this as a wave 2, it should normally come down a little bit lower. Then we have a wave 3 up, a wave 4 down, a wave 5 up. And then when all of this is corrected down once again, I've said it many times, you get usually an ABC down. Normally there's no reason to FOMO in this first step up, because usually it will be corrected down. And then when you do this, first impulse up, first corrective wave down, then you can actually be quite certain that the low is already in. Now this is really the very first of the very first impulses, potentially, yeah, and it is not confirmed yet. But if we draw the fibs here and we assume this is a first uptrend, then yeah, it has touched perfectly and it has reacted perfectly to the 50% fib retracement at 98 cents. But if it is a wave 2, it can normally come down lower, like 89 cents or even 76 cents. That wouldn't surprise me. But if it's below that, maybe we give it the 68 cents, but below that, then it is pretty much invalidated, that uptrend. But for now, it's looking slightly promising, yeah. I don't want to create too much hope here, but for now, it is looking more healthy than many other, especially metaverse cryptocurrencies. And yeah, overall chart structure looks okay. And I believe in the last video I already talked about what the target area would be. Oops, no, I didn't want to do that. For the next major wave to the upside. I don't have it on the chart anymore, but we can just draw it once more. Because if this is a wave 1 here, yeah, this impulse, this huge move when the metaverse peaked and was super hyped end of last year, when we look at this in terms of a wave 1, this year as a wave 2, then the next major wave should be a wave 3. And we can take a look at where that would take us. So it should take us at least to the 1.618 fib extension at around $10, a little bit more than $10. That is the minimum target. Normally it could even go higher. Here maybe the 200% fib extension, or maybe even the $16 level, the 2.618 Fibonacci extension. Yeah, that's currently here my view about Mana. So key resistance here 126, key support 66 cents. And if it makes a higher high above the previous rejection point of 135, then we can have some hope that the low might actually already be in for Mana, because what is coming up from down here looked very impulsive, and it's a slightly different wave count too at the moment. For example, Bitcoin, Solana, Cardano, and so on. All right, that's my view about Mana. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.